Hey guys, welcome back to some more F1 2018 in part 12 of our Mercedes career mode, and in today's episode we are taking part in the Hungarian Grand Prix. I actually really like this circuit. I know not a lot of people do, but it's one of my favourite on the calendar, and I'm looking forward to taking part in it today. The pace has been really good this weekend, and we got through Q2 on the super soft tyres, so we'll have the flexibility in the race to decide which direction we want to go in, but and we're the only driver that did that, so certainly going to be interesting for tomorrow's race. But for now, let's see if we can get pole.
Checks complete. We're ready.
So here we come up to the line. What's it going to be? A 117.4, so we go third place for the moment. It was a bit of a scrappy lap, to be honest with you, but it just shows how much pace we do have around here, that even though we made a couple of mistakes, we're still P3 on the grid. Lewis Hamilton currently on pole with a 17.1, so it'll be interesting to see if we can take that pole position off him in our next run.
There's only one lap of fuel remaining.
Well, we're coming around the final couple of corners. We have improved massively on this lap, but I think other people have as well. We've still got Ricciardo to come through, and then we're coming through straight after that. We've lost a little bit of time in this final sector, but we're coming up to the line, and we do take pole position. That was a brilliant lap right at the end there, and we've usurped Hamilton there, and that was just brilliant. We brought everything together there. 2/10 quicker than Hamilton in the end. Ricciardo goes third.
Captain Hamilton and Daniel Ricciardo. Goodbye for now then, but we're really just getting started. Make sure to join us again for Lights Out tomorrow.
So yeah, Ricciardo third, Raikkonen fourth, Verstappen fifth, and Vettel a very disappointing sixth. Again, he's just had a terrible season, really, to be honest with you. He's well behind Kimi, you know, and after winning the first Grand Prix of the season, is that masking a lot of his sort of rubbishness this season? Because that's 25 points. You know, if he didn't have them, he'd be 1 point ahead of Daniel Ricciardo, who's had a lot of reliability problems this season. So Vettel really, really struggling this year. Perhaps there could be an opening at Ferrari next year for us. But in all seriousness, a fantastic pole position. But we are on a different strategy to everybody else in that top 10 there. So it'll be interesting to see how we do in the race. We're on the soft tyre as opposed to the super soft, so it's a two-step difference between the soft and the ultra soft. So they're going to have a lot more pace early in the race, but hopefully we'll come into our own sort of about lap 4, lap 5 when the tyres are just falling apart. But yeah, it's all going to be very interesting, and I'm going to hand over to the two commentators to take you through it.
We've seen some astonishing Grand Prix here over the years, haven't we? The drama of 2015 is a recent example. Jenson Button's first win on a wet track in 2006, or in 1997, Damon Hill's heartbreak in the Arrows after a late gearbox failure cost him what would have been the team's only ever victory. What a wonderful place this is to come racing today. Well then, after an exciting qualifying session yesterday, let's take a look at how the cars line up. The captain lines up on pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Ricciardo, Raikkonen, Max Verstappen and Vettel, Magnussen. Hulkenberg, Sainz, and Stoffel van Dorn, Alonso, Grosjean, Sergio Perez, and Sirotkin, Ocon, Gasly, Charles Leclerc, and Lance Stroll, Ericsson, and Brendan Hartley rounds off the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Okay, the run into turn 1 isn't too long, so the pack will be bunched up. Take care.
So here we are down on the track. Weird glitch again where David Croft doesn't talk about anything to do with the race. But yeah, we're starting on the soft tyres, which I think is going to be a good decision. We'll overfuel slightly just so we've got a little bit of potential should we need it. I think there could be some AI going for two-stop strategies here. Because if you look at the soft tyre, the life of it doesn't last quite long enough, really. I mean, possibly. I'm wondering whether switching to the mediums might be a better option a little bit earlier in the race. I don't know. Let's see what it thinks. They think that's 7 seconds slower. I don't know. Well, oh dear, I've messed this up, haven't I? What was it? It was on 12, wasn't it? There we go. We'll stick with that and just trust it. But no, another pole position, our 4th of the season, I believe, our first one since the British Grand Prix a couple of races ago. I tell you what, that was a good getaway.
Learning the gears, so go through them all if you can.
But no, and it should be an interesting one. Obviously, Hamilton is probably going to get a better getaway than us simply because he's on the quicker tyre. So just got to be careful about that going into the first turn. But no, hopefully you guys are still good and enjoying the series. It's been really good so far. I've really enjoyed it, and hopefully you guys are too. And I'm looking forward to hopefully a lights to flag victory today. I wouldn't mind if there's no highlights today as long as it's a stress-free Grand Prix. Obviously we won last time out in Germany after the disqualification for Lewis Hamilton under safety car. I mean, if Lewis had been in front of Raikkonen, who finished behind us, then you feel like Lewis would have really pressured us late into that Grand Prix. So certainly was big that he was disqualified and ended his streak of 4 consecutive Grand Prix victories, and means that we're now level on points in the championship after 11 Grand Prix, which I think is amazing. But here we are lining up now to take shape on the grid. This is going to be a tough one off the line. It's a fairly long run down to turn 1, and certainly enough time for Lewis to make the jump of us. We line up, stop at the yellow line, of course.
The start sequence will begin as soon as the grid is formed. Be ready with the clutch.
And I think Ricciardo as well has had some wonderful starts this year, so this is going to be interesting. Lights out, away we go. It's a good getaway off the grid, but so does everybody else. Look at this. This is what I mean, the lacking grip of the soft tyres. Somebody's just went into the back of us. Stupid. Absolutely stupid. I'm not taking that. But if we look at the start, it was Max Verstappen. No, it was Vettel that went into the back of us. We did obviously brake a little bit early, but I don't really know why Kimi... oh, what? Ah, what? We can't lose this front wing damage now. Oh, well, never mind. We should have had it anyway. Ricciardo having a look at Hamilton. would have been a good move to make. Well, actually, he has made it. Ricciardo into the lead of the Grand Prix. But yeah, we did brake early for that turn, but I think Vettel should have been wise to it. We were sort of surrounded, so it made sense. But Ricciardo leads out of the first sector, Hamilton in second, Raikkonen in third, we're in fourth. We've got a little bit of front wing damage, but nothing that a little bit of extra downforce can't help at the pit stop. But yeah, we need to settle in now. You know, we've got to make these tyres last and show that this was the best strategy, because at the moment it's looking like a terrible strategy, simply because we didn't have the grip off the line. We had a good getaway, but well, look at this. Managed to get back past Max Verstappen there. They're going deep, but yeah, we just didn't have the grip in the second phase of the start, and they got a wonderful launch off the line, and they're going to look to build a gap now. Hamilton's in. Hamilton is into the pits. So that's interesting. 4 laps he survived on the ultra soft tyres. And surely he's going to struggle to get all the way to the end on those soft tyres, presumably, that he's going to put on. I feel like, considering we've got a bit of front wing damage, everything's going fine at the moment. We're staying within a good range of the 2 cars in front, and the tyres feel good. And hopefully we'll be able to make this strategy pay now. It's very encouraging to see that those two went into the pits so early as well. So now we're going to lead this Grand Prix.
Raikkonen is in the pits.
It's going to be us to now build a lead and make sure we make these tyres last as long as we can, because ultra softs apparently only last 5 laps maximum. You know, we were catching up massively to them towards the end of the stint, and we don't want to have that at the end of the Grand Prix. So yeah, we need to bear that in mind. Stretch this stint.
We're boxing this lap. Give us the best in lap you can.
Okay guys, we're coming into the pits this lap. We've just been chipping away this stint. It's been very, very consistent, and Lewis Hamilton has been consistent in the fact that he's took about a second a lap out of us, so that is all time that we're going to have to make up in the final stint, but his tyres are going to be getting worse and worse, so you know, we can at least be happy about that. We've been told to give the best in lap we can. I mean, you know, we've been pretty much matching our personal best time every single lap, so if we can do that, then that's great. A little bit of a corner cut there, just went a little bit too deep. Luckily though, didn't get a warning or anything, so that must mean it's fine. But no, we're pushing hard into the pits here. And you can see slightly the times are down this lap, and just struggling to turn the car in, which, you know, makes sense. We're coming to the end of the stint. The tyres must be absolutely shot. Hamilton takes another second out of us, so this is going to be where the race is won and lost. Oh my goodness, we nearly lost it there. Yep, speeding in the pit lane. Right, let's get that sorted. So it was about here. Trying to avoid the wall this time. I think we're okay. Bit of a shorter pit lane in terms of where the line is to come in, but yeah, we're down to 4th. Fernando Alonso might come through for 5th.
Clear of the white line on the exit.
No.
Receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross over into the track.
So we're back out in 4th, which I think is really, really good. And we're now on ultra softs till the end of the race. What I think will be interesting is to see whether anybody does a 2-stop, but I mean, I can already feel the grip is just incredible on these brand new tyres. So let's get out there and let's go for it.
Okay, gap to leader, 8.7 seconds.
8.7 seconds is the gap to make up. We've set purple, middle and final sectors, so we'd have to say it.
There's 5 laps of fuel remaining.
We can do it. But we'll keep an eye on the gaps as we come through the sectors.
Some information on Hulkenberg. They seem to have an issue. Our gap to the car in front is 3.7 seconds.
Interestingly, not a purple first sector, but certainly visibly catching up to
Some information on Hartley. Serious car
Raikkonen.
issue. It looks like they're retiring.
So Hartley's out of the race. A safety car would have been nice at this stage, but it's through here, so we're going to have to be a little bit careful, maybe ease off a little bit.
Yellow flag.
Around this corner. Absolutely fine, but look at the grip we've got. Absolutely fantastic at this stage of the race. The car's feeling great. And we are really, really catching up to Raikkonen. We set a 1:19.0 as the fastest lap. That is much quicker than our previous personal best, and we've got 4 laps to go to catch up to firstly Raikkonen, but then Ricciardo and Hamilton.
We're not going to be able to run in this engine mode much longer. We're about a lap over target. Drop down. Okay, clear.
Whoa, there's contact up ahead. Raikkonen has hit Hulkenberg. So he goes wide now. I really don't know what happened there. I think Hulkenberg's got some sort of problem. Raikkonen went into the back of him. But what I do know is that we're now up to third. I just hope we don't have any punctures from running over all that debris. But I think that means Raikkonen will be coming into the pits, so his race is completely destroyed. And it's all thanks to Hulkenberg.
It is 5.1 seconds.
Just running out. Well, we have run out of laps. You know, I think give me another 2 or 3 laps, we might have caught them. But as it happens, it was just too big a gap to pull back, and you know, all of the time they were taking seconds out of us. Maybe we should have come in and put on the mediums. Lewis Hamilton has won the Hungarian Grand Prix. Daniel Ricciardo finishes second. We finish in third. A little bit disappointing, to be honest, but hey-ho.
And Mercedes have pulled off a great victory here today. So, Anne, how exactly did they set themselves apart from the pack today?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
So as I say that, we can see the drivers coming out now to collect their trophies. It's yet more silverware to take back to their base in Brackley after another excellent Grand Prix. And after this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. It's a good result for Lewis Hamilton, who moves further ahead at the top of the table. And now I'd like to ask you, Anthony Davidson, who was your driver of the day?
Let's give it to Lance Stroll. That was a quality drive from start to finish. He can be proud of that one.
On to the constructors then. Mercedes have extended their lead at the top of the standings. There'll be plenty more twists and turns to come this season. I hope you can join us at the next race to see just who will come out on top.
So there we have it then. Lewis Hamilton wins the Hungarian Grand Prix with Daniel Ricciardo less than a second behind in second. We finish in third place. I mean, look at our fastest lap compared to everyone else, and even our soft tyre pace was around about the 20.8 mark. So, you know, I think maybe just a couple of loose laps in there at the end of the day, and maybe the start, maybe the front wing damage was what got us in the end. Who knows? But I think we can be quite happy with 15 points there. We move on to the next one in Spa, where, you know, overtaking is a bit easier. So hopefully our car should suit that track a lot better. But we've come out with a 1-3. Pretty happy with that. Disappointing to not win the race after starting in pole position and leading for so much of the race, but that's what happens in F1, so, you know, just gotta accept it. But if you have enjoyed this episode, then make sure you do leave a like down below. It really does help me out. It means a lot to me as well. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more F1 content, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.